You, Joe Average, white, native born Dems need to get mad at your party bosses, not Trump. They're scamming you all. They put you out there like Putin to be shot like Mrs. Good. It's only inevitable in any police department, any law enforcement entity, even any military entity, that if people charge at you like that and do those type of things, somebody out of the hundreds of thousands of interactions nationally will be shot. It's just a fact of life. It's going to happen. I told the Democrats to tell you to get out of the streets, and they didn't. But you know who wasn't in the streets? Muhammad, Abdul, right? Where were they? Making millions of dollars, becoming rich, while they gave you chicken feed and put you out there to die and be run over by cars and be arrested. But the Sharia law gang, who bribe and kick back the Democrat Party bosses with the stolen benefit money, socialism my ass. You stole all the money. And you gave it to Abdul and Muhammad and Ali. And they give it back to you. And now you can't break apart because why? You're thick as thieves. They have the goods on you and you have the goods on them. But average Joe, Mrs. Good, and Pretty, they were put out there like cannon fodder, like Putin. Again, another commie. So you need to wake up. You, Joe Average, they're pointing you at Trump. They're causing the inflation. Your governors and your mayors, when they raise your wages without any type of economic plan to support it, it causes inflation. That's part of it also. And Abdul can buy a big house, so prices go up and you can't even get an apartment. You need to wake up, millennials. It used to be a thing. They say if you're a liberal at 20, you're a conservative by 30. And they're trying to break that, get you to worship Islamism. They're part of the reason you have inflation, part of the reason you don't have a job. Blacks do not have jobs in Detroit, in Dearborn, in Saginaw because of the Islamists. They're not going to hire you. They're going to take over and hire their own people. The highest black unemployment is in Michigan. Yet you're all going to vote for some dumb Southern Poverty Law Center woman who ran a financial scam with the rest of them? Same thing. Lying, defrauding. That's why you don't have an average white person in Michigan. They're giving it to the Islamists who kicks it back to them. But the Islamists playing them. They don't even know what to do. Elizabeth Warren looks like an idiot, saying how wonderful that El Sayed won. This is the answer to all the American problems. He's a genius. He's communist scum. He's jihadist scum. Now, nothing I say should get you riled up to go harm him in any way. I think he'll be harmed enough come election day when he gets thrown out on his ass. I expect to see that to be the biggest defeat in Michigan election history. Y'all better wake up. You were sent to your death. You're sent to use drugs. They laugh. They don't do anything but steal money for rehab. That's why you got people like Vic the Good Boss out there trying to instruct the government in it, because there's nobody there to do anything but steal money. Glad to see he got a meeting with some mayor recently. I started telling them that a good 16 years ago, at least. That's part of what I was going to do in New Mexico. Show them how to do what Vic the Good Boss is doing. That was like 2012, 13, something like that. Instead, the narcos, the Democrats, and the sex traffickers were having a ball. And some Republicans thrown in because, hey, when the money gets that big, everybody's in. Right, New Mexico? I dare say if Deb Haaland doesn't change that place, God will destroy it. There's only so many people God is going to send. Now, she's no El Sayed, but hopefully, she becomes a drill sergeant to a certain degree, like I said. Otherwise, the place will be lost. I mean, already a lot of the people I speak about are probably dead. They're drug users, a lot of them. So again, get mad at your party bosses. And yeah, I would vote for Mike Rogers. What? Trump decreased what funding? The funding they were stealing and sending to the Islamists so they could take over Michigan and put you out of work? Well, they gave you chump change, pennies on the dollar of what they were giving to them, just so they could finance this thing and kick it back. You didn't have the money. You didn't have the ingenuity to be an organized crime criminal. I called it what I call a charity mafia for years. Mrs. Good was sent out there to die by Democrats that don't give a shit, looking for the next dollar, for the big grand life. What socialism? To begin with, they're communists. Then it all makes sense. They're there to steal everything and put their enemies in jail. There's no socialism in the Democratic Party. So, the new people are here now. Oh, the new people who were the recipients of all the fraud. That's how he gets financed. That's how the Muslim Brotherhood got financed. Probably narco distributors also. They don't give a shit. They'll bring in 100 kilos of heroin and fentanyl and not even care because you're an infidel. You don't matter because they're going to put mosques everywhere with that money. So it doesn't matter that they're poisoning you with narcotics and they're paying cops and they're putting their people in as cops. Every one of those Islamic precincts and districts need to be investigated by the FBI for not turning in what we know is going on at this point. How could they not know there was fraud everywhere? I mean, yeah, I'm into that community outreach. Yeah, have a few Islamic officers. Not a whole precinct, a whole police department. They haven't proven that they're even American yet. No matter if they were born here or not. Walking around with Hamas and Hezbollah tattoos. Owning a business? That's unheard of. He doesn't own a business. You go in there and you shut him down. That's not some Jew speaking, that's an American. You're not an American. You're Islamists. They want to overturn the Constitution. You're like Gordon Kahl. The man that shot a deputy marshal. You're like Randy Weaver, a man that shot a deputy marshal. Has nothing to do with Islam. Has to do with you being a crook. And a militant that wants to overthrow peace, prosperity, and domestic tranquility with your idiot Democrats in tow. You idiot young Democrats need to get serious and get mad at your bosses and kick that party out. There ain't no MAGA left. Trump's not MAGAing. He's ensuring the future by providing funding and ways to invest for young people. If the Democrats win, they'll take that on for themselves and erase everything he did. He's doing socialism. He really is. It's not politically expedient for him to say that. But you have to do a certain amount of socialism because we're a bigger world now and we need to pick people up so they don't rip off all our lawn furniture because they got nothing. Those Democratic bosses knew that somebody would get killed, and they put you out there anyway. You need to get mad at that. If you survived, then God blessed you. Now they want to tell you it's Trump and the police department, El Sayed out there. Oh, get rid of cops, because then we can strong arm you. Then we can extort you. Then we can steal from you. Then we can disappear you in the woods. Then we can rape your daughters. Get rid of the cops. It all fits together when you look at the truth. When you're trying to play some angle like Elizabeth Warren and Bernie, it's bullshit. And they don't give a shit. They lie. Get rid of the cops. Why? Because they want to rape your daughters. They want to cuck your men. Well, I say cuck them. They got another thing coming. The Democrats are going to score so low in these next elections. I don't even know if there's anything left. We got to have a second party somehow. It's the way we're based. But look what they're doing. There's no way they'll get votes. But from the idiots, and you young people need to wake up. You're the biggest loser. Trump's the only one building a future. Oh, they raised my wages. They gave me money and I was having trouble eating. You were having trouble eating and you had inflation because they raised your wages 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. It never works. Did you study math and economics somehow in your life? I know my school didn't teach me much, but I mean, read, learn. They did nothing but cause inflation. So you could, that's how communism is. Come grovel back. Oh, we need up. Oh, bad man Trump again. Chicago governor's going to raise your wages and take care of you. And what happens a year later? Prices up again. People that own businesses are not going to take it on the chin. Oh, that's why we have socialism and communism. Bullshit. You know what my father's job was in communist Romania? Efficiency expert. Nobody works because if you work hard, you get the same thing as the other slap. It's all cronyism and nepotism. Patronage. No checks and balances. Do you wonder why the biggest Indian movement guy was against socialism? Did you ever wonder? Russell Means. What happened? The Democrats bought you out. Had already bought the other people out. You should be mad, Democratic young people. They scammed you. They made the Islamists rich. Took over whole sections of cities. That's their party, man. You think they just sit in the street beating themselves up all day? They going in there having caviar, steak, lobster. While you out there using some drug that they made you think was cool. Dropping like flies while using drugs and attacking ICE. Meanwhile, the Islamists, you think they rich. I thought they were rich too. I didn't know they were thieves. Living in big condos, high rises, owning high rises at a certain point. But don't look over there. Look at Trump. He got money. Trump was born a multimillionaire. Of course he's going to have money. The Islamists came over here with nothing, begging, and then stole from our government and from our benefit funding programs. Stealing from Medicaid and Medicare. You want more health care? They stole your money. Stole it from me. The only person that ever got into my insurance that I know about is some guy named Muhammad or Ali or something like that in Chicago. So when the Democrats ask for healthcare money, for funding money, for what? For Muhammad and Ali to steal? And to kick some back to you? They want communism because then they control all the police departments and everything. Then they can have whatever they want. Mayor of New York's not broke, never been broke. That's his persona. Oh, I'm so poor. This is my financials. He makes a phone call. He's on a trip to Africa. He's on a trip to Spain. He's on a trip to England. That's how the liberals do it. Bernie did it for years. He finally got some money, but I explained about Bernie years ago. But Bernie's not broke. He makes a phone call. He gets whatever he wants, but it's not his money. You don't see anything on paper. I don't remember what she didn't want to go to a parade or something, whatever it was. His wife, I'm in Spain. You know what those things cost? That's like, I lived in California for 6 months. I know what those things cost. Now, Elon Musk and Doge did mess up, and I told you they were going to mess up. But there's plenty of fraud, waste, and abuse that was going on. And I told them that 10 years earlier. You young Democrats should be angry. They're skipping over you. They're putting the Islamists in because they thick as thieves and they embezzle money. They're charity mafias. They got nothing for you. They just want your vote, making you believe Trump's the one that's messing you up. If you're black and you're not working, you're unemployed in Michigan, it's the Democrats. They gave your job to Ali, Muhammad, Abdul. Gave your businesses to them also. Why? Because they kick it back. Stay peaceful. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God.